Are you looking for the best cinema camera? The only 10 best cinema camera you should consider today review buying guide. In this video, we will look at some of the best cinema camera buying guide on the market. For more details and price, click product link, please check the description box below. Before we get started with our video, number 1. Nikon Z6. Best 4K cinema camera by Nikon. Nikon SLR cameras aren't the most popular ones when it comes to filming videos and aren't typically used by professional videographers. However, with the new Z system, Nikon has taken it up a notch, considering that the capabilities of iron aren't used to the fullest. But the company promises to update the Z system soon. Z6 is undoubtedly the best cinema camera produced by Nikon so far. It films 4K videos at a speed of 30 fps without crop, which is a significant advantage. You can record footage for approximately 80 minutes but with a limited duration 30 minutes per one video. The camera provides matrix and electronic stabilizers. A latter one can be enabled only when needed. In Full HD, the model films up to 120 fps with two modes available, normal and slow. Videographers will appreciate the presence of connectors for headphones and an external microphone. I found several reviews where users weren't satisfied with the work of autofocus during filming. Actually, for the proper functioning of autofocus, you just need to open the user settings menu in the G video section and select the AF speed parameter there. Also, Z6 is a good fit not only for cinematography purposes, but for taking top-grade pictures and time lapses as well. Number 2. Panasonic Lumix GH5. Wonderful option for vloggers. Comparing with previously released models, the grip on Lumix GH5 is more qualitative. Besides, the camera became a premium one. Its metal case features rubberized overlays that prevent the camera from slipping out of the hands. Since the model is moisture and dust-proof, water won't ruin it in case it is raining. The camera will handle video recording in winter as well. Two compartments for SD memory cards are located on the right side. There you will also find a connector for a wired remote control, which suits a variety of electronic stabilizers. As for the left side, there you will see the external microphone and headphone jack, full-size HDMI, and USB Type-C with enhanced data transfer rate. GH5 supports Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. It films videos in 4K resolution at a speed of 50 fps. Also, it is possible to film Full HD at 180 fps. In fact, Lumix GH5 is the best video camera for YouTube vloggers, journalists and all filmmaking enthusiasts. Number 3. Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. Mirrorless cinema camera with 6K. This model is rightfully called one of the best mirrorless cinematography cameras. Its most notable features are a big sensor, 12-bit RAW, and 6K resolution. I still can't believe that it is possible to create such a robust, affordable device that will be suitable for both beginning and experienced users. Even though it is a cinema caliber model, it is rather user-friendly. I admire the camera's wonderful ergonomic design and straightforward touchscreen menu system. Through manual control, users can adjust shutter speed, ISO and aperture. For instance, in case you have to modify the resolution by adjusting RAW or ProRes, switch to a different memory card or adjust other settings, an intuitive menu system divided into themes will help you with that. Thanks to Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, directors are capable of recording qualitative films in order to share them on the web or for film festivals without spending much money on equipment. Number 4. Sony PXWZ90V. Wonderful option with cutting-edge multi-layer sensor. This camcorder impresses shooters with HDR, HLG, and the cutting-edge SMOS, XMR, RS, multi-layer sensor. The model is also praised for non-fixed wide-angle Zeiss Vario Sonner T lens with the 12x optical zoom support. Zoom clear image 18x in QFHD resolution with super resolution technology and 24x in HD. These characteristics make PXWZ90V one of the best cinema cameras, due to the hybrid autofocus algorithm and 273 points that cover 84% of the frame area. Fast phase focusing is guaranteed. Autofocus can detect faces and can be fixed on the subject you select. In addition, it is possible to predict the trajectory and film objects in a top-notch quality. If you have this camcorder, there is no need to worry about losing the intensity of colors, as it records from 1 to 100 fps without crop. But in case you feel like the colors aren't intense enough, you may fix it in video editing software. Number 5. Panasonic LUMIX S5i. The Panasonic LUMIX S5i is the best camera for videography that we've tested. It's loaded with features that equal, and even surpass more expensive options, making it one of the best bang for your buck cameras if you're interested in video work. It has 6K open gate recording, 4K at 60 fps albeit with an APS-C crop, an internal 10-bit 4:2 to capture with support for a wide range of codecs and recording formats. The video quality from its full-frame sensor is also excellent, and it has one of the best in-body image stabilization IBIS systems among full-frame models. The S5i is also the first LUMIX camera to feature phase detection autofocus, which significantly improves subject tracking compared to its predecessor, particularly in video mode. It's worth noting that native L-mount lenses can be expensive, although you can get around that by choosing third-party options or using a lens mount adapter. Of course, if you want to save even more money, the original Panasonic LUMIX S5 is a steal, particularly if you buy used and don't need the more advanced autofocus of the S5i. Number 6. Canon EOS R50. The Canon EOS R50 is a compact, lightweight camera featuring sharp 4K image quality from its APS-C sensor, oversampled from 6K. At its price point, the camera offers excellent value for money under $1,000. This camera can record uncropped 4K video up to 30 fps, and it also supports full HD slow motion frame rates up to 120 fps. APS-C cameras are notoriously known for having some sort of crop factor, so the fact that the Canon EOS R50 doesn't have a crop factor is a plus, in my opinion. The hybrid phase detect autofocus system is also very good, as it's a simplified version of the same autofocus system from Canon's more expensive cameras. There are two notable downsides to this camera. The first is the limited selection of native APS-C, RF, mount Canon lenses, and the second is the lack of in-body image stabilization. Yes, you can use full-frame RF mount Canon lenses, but they are usually more expensive, larger, and heavier, which might negate the purpose of buying this compact camera. The absence of in-body image stabilization is unfortunate, but it is somewhat easier to compensate for. Most Canon RF lenses come with image stabilization, and the R50 does feature digital image stabilization, which is similar to the system found in the Sony ZV-E10. Number 7. Sony ZV-E10. The Sony ZV-E10 has been specifically designed for vlogging in mind. In essence, the camera has combined popular features from the Sony A6XX series cameras and their Sony ZV-E1 range of cameras to create a vlogger-friendly camera with an APS-C sensor. The sensor is the same as the Sony a6400, so in terms of video quality, frame rates, and autofocus capability, nothing has changed. The Sony ZV-E10 can record crisp 4K video up to 30 fps. For slow motion frame rates, it can record up to 120 fps in 1080p. The ZV-E10 also doesn't have in-body image stabilization, but it does feature an electronic stabilization that Sony calls its steady shot active mode. The steady shot active mode is much better than nothing, but it doesn't work in 1080p and at 100 fps and 120 fps frame rates. In addition to a good mix of different frame rates in 4K and 1080p, the ZV-E10 also has a flip LCD screen similar to that of the Panasonic G85. Similar to the Sony a6400, the biggest negative with this camera is the lack of in-body image stabilization. If you're okay with using the steady shot active mode, or don't need stabilization, this is another powerful filmmaking camera option because of the APS-C sensor it has. Number 8. Panasonic G85. Typically you can find this camera at under $700. Considering the price point, the Panasonic G85 is the best value for all the features it comes with. Its autofocus system is very good, significantly outperforming the older Panasonic GH4. It has a flip articulating screen that gives you the ability to capture footage easily from weird angles, and it has above average in-body image stabilization, which makes it possible to capture smooth footage without a gimbal. On the build quality side, the camera has a solid magnesium body that is fully weather sealed, a feature that is not usually found in cameras in this price range. What's also cool with Micro Four Thirds cameras like the G85 is that you get access to a variety of different Micro Four Thirds lenses from manufacturers like Panasonic, Olympus, Sigma, and Tamron. Because of the smaller lens size and bigger selection, the lenses will be cheaper than an APS-C camera, like the Sony a6400. At the same time, the biggest downside of this is the micro Four Thirds sensor size. Since it's smaller, you're not going to get the same low light capabilities as a camera with an APS-C sensor. It also doesn't have a headphone socket, but that's not as big of a deal. If you can get over the so-so low light performance, this camera truly is a powerhouse. Number 9. Sony ZV-E1. The Sony ZV-E1 is one of the best low-light video cameras we've tested. It features a 12MP full-frame sensor optimized for low-light shooting, with fantastic noise handling and plenty of dynamic range for great results in even the trickiest lighting conditions. It's the same sensor found in the pricier Sony ZV-E10 and Sony FX3, though we haven't tested them. They're known to be some of the best videography cameras in their respective classes. The ZV-E1 is billed as a vlogging camera, so it's more accessible to newcomers and has a more compact body. It also includes Sony's ever-reliable autofocus, IBIS, and 4K recording at up to 60 fps. That said, it can overheat pretty quickly during longer recording sessions. The Panasonic LUMIX GH5 is another great option for low-light videography that's less likely to overheat, though it uses a smaller micro Four Thirds sensor. The sensor's low resolution and dual native ISO design optimize the camera for low light. The MFD system also features more compact lens options, and the camera has a more effective IBIS system, but its autofocus is much less reliable than the ZV-E1. That may not be a deal breaker if you prefer to focus manually, so the GH5 is a good choice if you want to save some money. Number 10. Panasonic LUMIX GH5 II. Another great option for aspiring filmmakers is the Panasonic LUMIX GH5 II. It's a predecessor to the Panasonic LUMIX GH7 above and uses a micro Four Thirds sensor, albeit with a slightly lower resolution. However, it still delivers excellent overall video quality, and the Four Thirds system has a vast library of lenses to choose from, including plenty of compact and relatively affordable options. The GH5i has a wide range of resolution and frame rate options, including anamorphic modes to get a wider, more cinematic aspect ratio and 4K recording at up to 60 fps. You also get log profiles and 10-bit 4:2 4K recording up to 30 fps to capture more color, information, and give you more flexibility in post. Unlike the newer GH7, however, it lacks a CF Express card slot, can't shoot in Apple ProRes formats internally, and is a bit more limited in frame rate options. For the price, however, the GH5i is a fantastic choice.